What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dodge. Come back to Real Takes. Well, it's that time of you guys. It's a movie news time, and I have quite a bit to discuss today. Just kind of give a little bit of update on what's going on with the movie theaters, some update on some movie releases, movies in general, a couple films in the works, a couple reboots, a prequel, just a whole bunch of just stuff happening. So you know what? With that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. First thing I want to discuss has to do, of course, the movie theaters. As you all know, really since the pandemic, I've been talking about this off and on since early spring, when all this started to kind of take shape back in March. I was dealing with COVID, dealing with the pandemic. Movies kind of were kind of halted. A lot of stuff had been moved around. I already discussed quite a few movies, and I'm gonna kind of get into the names of those in a few minutes. But it just seems like even when they stated we were going to be opening back up, some theaters, given a designated time, like say for instance July, to ease us back in or to see, it's not turning out the way some movie theaters want it to be. Some of the higher, movie chain, it's just what it is. Some people at this moment are still not feeling really safe going back to the theaters. I will say myself included, as much as I was a movie going fanatic. And some days, yeah, I'm kind of bummed because there's some stuff that came out or going to be coming out and I wanted to see. But of course, like I said, movies were moved. Now, some of those chains being, say, for instance, Cinemark, AMC, Regal. I haven't been getting too many just comments or anything saying a lot of people that I know of that have actually ventured out as of yet. I think a lot of us are probably considering going out maybe around the holidays, maybe closer to Christmas time, whichever, feel a little bit more at ease with the way things are turning out with the pandemic, and it's not feeling so, as at times, or I can speak for myself, not feeling as reassured that all proper precautions are being done to make me feel even close to feeling safe enough to go in there. Now, when I bring this up is because I know one in particular, one movie theater chain, AMC, they're trying their best to lure people back, and I know they're doing a promotion right now where you would probably normally, I think, pay somewhere between, was it $15 or $20, a month in regards to their services. They're doing where they're kind of crediting it as a $5 for the first month if you join up. You'll get a couple of, say for instance, going to to the movies, whichever, you'll save on this, you'll get a head start as an A-list subscriber promotion to their subscription, see certain things ahead of time. You have a couple movies a month. But the thing is this, will people still want to go even if you give them this monthly subscription? You take off money for that month. Yeah, that's great and good, whatever and all that, but if somebody really wants to see a movie, they don't care about how much it costs to see that movie, how much it costs at the concession stand, whatever. We will go if we want to go. I don't really feel like that really is going to be enough. Case in point, let me use an example. The movie Tenet did come out a couple weeks ago. It's not raking in the money they want over here. I know probably overseas they're probably killing it. I know some places have opened up and they're doing very well, but in the U.S. Not so much. And I know, as I stated many times, how much money that went into this movie. They want to try to recoup as much of that back, if anything, just to break even probably, but it is what it is. I know Nolan was very much of a stickler for wanting to keep the movie where it was listed to come out. He moved it a little bit, but then in the end it did come out. And I know it probably is a great movie, but again, don't care how good the movie is. If people do not truly feel safe, especially if it's not even just an adults, you're bringing out kids. And no one that I know of around me will bring their children out to any movie theater if they do not feel comfortable, especially when we're dealing with COVID. That's just not going to happen. So I really honestly I don't think it really matters what other promotion you give, how much it is. If one month's free and this one's only $5, whatever, it's going to be just enough. Because when you're thinking about a movie compared to my life, we already know what's going to win that battle. And as much as I want to go out, and I've stated in a couple of reactions I've done in the last couple of weeks that certain movies that were on my anticipated list are going to be coming out later this fall, going into winter, and I'm really beyond hype to see them. But still trying to make the decision if I really want to go out. I did state also that I would consider doing it earlier in the day as opposed to normally I go to the movies. I always do it like mid-afternoon, going to the evening, but normally mid-afternoon before like the rush of people who like to do the late evening, 10 o'clock, whatever. I don't like to be out that late, whatever. I'd rather do my stuff and then I can do whatever I want with my time. So this is going to be really interesting. You guys, when you do watch this, comment how you all feel about it, because I'm really curious to know what other people feel about this. If it's anything that is coming out later this year that you think that you might finally make the leap to go out and see. Just curious to know. I said I'm really tinkering because December is jam packed, and I'm going to really get into that when I start talking about some of the stuff. But other than that, most of the ones that I want to see, a lot of the stuff I want to see truly is coming out next year too. There's a few that are this year that are definitely some blockbusters I want to see. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to eventually make the decision if I'm going to, yay or nay. So keep that in mind. Now, let me just get into some of the movies that are going to be delayed or released going into the following year. Now, speaking of Disney, Disney only has 3 movies that will be coming out this year. I'm going to note them. The first one's The Empty Man, that comes out October 23rd. The next one, of course, is through Pixar, which is Soul, comes out November 20th. You already can see where that's located at, because that's right around the holiday Thanksgiving. And then we have the last one, Death of the Nile, which is coming out December 18th. Now, that will be interesting right there, because that's one movie that's, of course, starring Gal Gadot. Definitely all-star cast. Now, another movie that's supposed to be released, now it's been moved, and I was bummed to hear that, because that was the one I was considering going to see in October, and that is Wonder Woman 84, of course, starring Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. That's something right there. On top of the fact that that comes out also, another movie comes out on December 18th. No, I'm sorry. December 18th is Dune, excuse me. And then with Wonder Woman 84, that comes out on Christmas Day. Excuse me for the dates confusion. So many dates to remember. But yeah, December looks like it's cranking it up. It's going to be a lot coming out in December. I'm really going to be curious to see how many people are really going to come out. I feel like with them doing this, they feel like they might get a hold of it, that people feel comfortable. Time will tell. We will see. We'll see if some people start coming out in November. There's not a lot to showcase in this showing that's coming out, because, like I stated, a lot of stuff did get moved. So it's very interesting. Speaking of moved, a lot of the ones that got moved that are through Disney, and I'm going to go ahead and note them. I'm going to put them up on the screen as well. The Kingsman comes out February the 12th. Then we have Antlers that comes out February 19th. We have Raya and the Last Dragon, March 12th. And then we have Bob's Burger, April 9th. And then another movie titled Ron Goes Wrong, which comes out April 23rd. Now, those are the ones through Disney that have been pushed to 2021. So, and speaking of Disney with Marvel, we have a couple things. Like I did hear that Black Widow did get moved. I figure most likely because it was staunch for May. I was here for it. I was ready to see the movie. But when they pulled it, they had it on hold. They did not state exactly where it was going to fall. It was going to be later this fall or next year. I'm glad they finally made a decision. Just move it. Just move it to next year. Hype is real. It comes out May 2021, birthday month. Happy birthday to me. I will be there to see it. I'm really hoping by that time we have a little bit more, hold on pandemic COVID, where the numbers are less, going down with the amount of people, getting it. It's just sad all around, the amount of people. We've already lost over 204,000, people, so just to all those families and friends who've lost loved ones, it's just, I just send all my condolences, because it's just ridiculous. It's just, they're just not going down. It's just getting just really, really unsettling for just all of us when we go out here and just trying to live our lives. So please, people, as much as we do want to see the movies, just please be careful. Just be mindful of your surroundings, because you just, all I can say about that. Now, with other movies through Marvel, besides that, so let me just go down a list of the ones that I know so far that are coming out that are through Marvel. Now, we know we have, Morbius, that's coming out in March. Definitely hyped to see that. You already know as much as I talked about that one. Of course, I said Black Widow, that's May 7th, just to put the date out. Then we have Venom, Let There Be Carnage, that comes out June 25th. Then we have Shang-Chi, which actually was another one that got moved, that will be coming out July the 9th. And then, of course, Eternals, which got moved over to November 5th as well. And then I think the other last one that I noted is Spider-Man Homecoming 3, which is supposed to be slated for December of next year. So that's kind of pretty much it on those particular movies that got moved around. Like, we have a little stuff that's going on right now. Now, there's one last movie I do want to talk about that pertains to getting moved, and I was very hurt that this is being moved. But it is what it is. It will be Candyman. It's been moved to next year. It looks like we don't have an actual date yet. I will say this. I'm hoping they really think about when they're going to put it out. I want them to either put it out sometime September, maybe mid or the end of September, because October is jam-packed. And I'm just going to know why that is. Because these two babies are coming out in October of 2021. And I will say, if that is the case, and if they do put it out, they could put it out October too. There's nothing wrong with competition. It's good, healthy competition out here. That might be a catalyst for a lot of people to come out, of course, for that month to see those particular 3 movies. That will be something. Oh my goodness, because I'm sitting there trying to think which one y'all gonna go all see. Depending on the dates, but one comes out before the other. That'll kind of beat that. But then it's like, which one is going to do so good that people will keep coming, and it's going to end up beating out the other 2. So just to know that K-Man could come out in October, going up against the Batman and Halloween Kills. I'm going to see every last one of those things. So I'm here for it. The hype truly next year is real for those particular 2, Halloween Kills and also the Batman. So I'm excited. I'm just excited at the prospect, but I'm hoping we'll find out the date. I mean, I don't know why they don't have that up in the air. It's like, if I were you all, I would kind of lock that in now, because a lot of movies that were supposed to come out this year are just grabbing the dates as we speak. So I'll keep my eyes on this. Like I state, when I know more, you all know more. So moving on. Now, this is one I just want to kind of bring up that I'm so excited and was so happy to see. Disney, they did a kind of like a mural to Chadwick Boseman, and it was put down, I want to say, what is it, Downtown Disney District over in Disneyland, and I think it was just something so beautiful that they did. Now, we all love Chadwick Boseman. Just so sad just to think a couple weeks ago he passed, and of course we found out, of course, through cancer. Of course, none of us knew. He's a very private person. So with all of the outpouring of love from family, friends, fans, I figured it wouldn't be long that we would probably get some sort of information that a mural was going to put up somewhere amongst Disney within the property for all of the families to see when they're there to enjoy their fun. The mural that they put up actually was done by a Disney concept, artist named Nicholas Smith. And I'm going to know what he says is inspiration for this. I wanted to just state that real quick. He says, in regards to him, he says, let me get in my notation here. He says, as a former Disney Imagineer, I had the honor of working on a major children's hospital initiative in Avengers Campus as my final 2 assignments. He says, seeing Chadwick's heart for the people in person and later discovering his courageous battle with cancer, I was inspired, to create this tribute to honor his life and legacy. It is such a beautiful mural, and I like how the way it was done, where you can see visually that, of course, him, showing love to a young little kid, wearing the, Black Panther mask. Now, they could have did a mural with him, of course, being full out in Black Panther, but it was much more to him than just playing Black Panther. He was very heroic outside of being an actor, doing a lot of work, in the community, and of course, through parts of with in regards to, the hospitals and health, with kids, experiencing cancer. Unbeknownst to us, like I stated, that he himself had cancer. It's amazing when you see a lot of people ask, did you know? And they're like, we had no idea. I remember seeing it. Spike Lee didn't know. Ryan Coogler didn't know. Very private. He was all about keeping it professional. I kept thinking deep down that maybe somebody from the executives might have known whatever and all that, just to make sure his health was, within incline, whatever and all that. But then they would probably be too afraid to have him work whatever it was going to mess with his overall health for him to be able to do certain scenes clearly. So, that's why it truly, I know, came as a shock to them. Definitely a shock to all his fans and friends, because fans, watching him, we just didn't know. But I just love that he keeps getting continued outpouring of love and all across, from his alma mater. And just thinking about it, every time I thought about it when it first happened, I just broke out in tears. And I just love that when people go there, they'll still see his mural and just remember how great of a guy he is and all the other heroic people he portrayed in the past. Him doing a movie about Thurgood Marshall, James Brown. Also, gosh, Jackie Robinson, trying to remember names here. So yes, I'm just excited. Eventually, I might go down there one day just so I can see it, up close and personal. It's just going to be so touching. A lot of people are going to, of course, as they pass, it might be in awe. A lot of people want to take pictures in front of it. Just let it sink in. It's just something I just want to bring up because I just thought it was just beautifully done. And this was, of course, unveiled earlier this week. I want to say maybe Wednesday or Thursday when this was put out, for all of us to know through social media. So moving on from that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into some movie updates now. And quite a bit to discuss. Start off with the first one. And I can say the casting is now complete with this particular film, and that is for Scream 5. And when I mean complete, I mean that Neve Campbell is coming back to reprise her role as Sidney Prescott. I am very happy to hear that. I did note that I felt like, even though we had David Arquette and Courtney Cox back, whichever, that was really a nice little touch to that, but it's still truly not the same without the core character of Sidney. And I feel like this needed to happen. And I think even though she feels a loving spot for Wes Craven, she went on and decided, I think she liked what she saw in the script and decided to go ahead and sign on to do it. So let me read what the actual director stated. They said, "We're pinching ourselves. It's hard to express how much the character Sidney Prescott shaped our love of movies, and to have the chance to work with Neve is truly a dream come true. It just wouldn't be a Scream movie without Neve, and we're so excited and honored to join her in Woodsboro." Now, I know they're doing production in Wilmington, North Carolina, so I'm excited about that, that they're not that far from over here near where I'm at. So it's just awesome overall anyway that she's coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing how the story is going to unfold, because I did note that I've wondered, there's so many ways it can go, with the way they can do the storyline. Is this going to open it up for the new girl, who I have listed, of course, with the rest of the cast, who is going to be at the center? And if I remember, it says it follows a woman returning to her hometown amid a string of vicious crimes to discover who is responsible. Now, this has to do with the other character within the movie, but not Neve Campbell. So I'm curious to see how Sidney comes into the fold with this actually, and will this have it where she eventually gives the mantle over fully to the new castmate in this actual movie, and that's how they can keep progressing the movie Scream to maybe Scream 6, Scream 7, maybe a Scream 8. That will be interesting. They're going to keep the script probably very tight-lipped so they don't give anything away. I'm hoping some other people can join the cast. It would be very interesting. I would love to see Matthew Lillard back. I know some people put out they would like to see Rose McGowan, even though her character was killed off in another, particular character. You can have new ones, fresh out, whatever, with the, named faces that we love. Jamie Kennedy's hilarious. I love me some him. So that would just be interesting. So I'm definitely going to keep tabs to see if anybody else does get cast in this. Maybe some also cast members from other previous ones, as well as from the TV show. So we'll just have to see how this all pans out. So as I stated, when I know more, you all will know more. So moving from that. Now this is one of the ones that I'm definitely looking forward to, and a lot of people, it's not high on their radar or just concerned, but I am here for it. I'm talking about Avatar. Of course, Avatar 2. Now it looks like Avatar 2 is now complete. Yay! So I know that they changed the dates, and I'm going to note them in a few seconds, from the fact that we were supposed to be getting it, later on, what is it? I want to say, was it this coming next year? But they moved it to 2022. So let me just note the dates really quickly. So Avatar 2 is December 16th, 2022. Then we have Avatar 3, December 20, 2024. We have Avatar 4, December 18th, 2026. And the last and final one is Avatar 5, which is December 22nd, 2028. So 4 of the gifts that keep on giving. So needless to say, I'm happy Avatar 2 is done. Doesn't mean that they're completely done, because I'm hearing that they're pretty much finished Avatar 3 as well. So it's kind of like he's ahead a little bit, but there's still other work that needs to be done. I am excited on a lot of people, and I said it too, and I'll even say it again. I'm still in amaze as to what kind of story this can keep progressing after Avatar 2. So once I see Avatar 2, I really need to see how that flows in regards to storyline, but they still have more and more to discuss in regards to these particular characters. I'm at a loss for words for what they can do with the third, fourth, and fifth installment. But when I look at the body of work that James Cameron's done over the years and all that, and I love a lot of his movies, that I know there's potential. I mean, Avatar was #1 for a good decade, before, it came down, a peg. Endgame is now taking on the mantle for #1 for the moment. So we'll have to see how good Avatar 2 does. For some people, I will be watching it again. I've already seen it multiple times. I saw it twice at the theaters, and I did enjoy it when it came off and on, cable, networks from time to time over the years. So it's still one of those movies I do enjoy watching, and I will watch it from beginning to end. I don't skip whichever. I really do enjoy the full movie in its entirety. I love the cast on it. They were so great. Zoe Saldana. I loved who was Sigourney Weaver, and I'm forgetting the guy's name was in it. Oh my gosh, don't hurt me for that. But needless to say, it was a good movie. Also, from what I hear, Cameron actually had an interview recently he did, and I want to state what he's noted in regards to how everything turned out, being that we're dealing with the COVID and all that before actually doing the movie. He says, well, COVID hit us like it hit everybody. It hit us hard. We lost about 4.5 months of production. As a result of that, we rolled around one more full year for a release in December of 2022. That's been announced already. Now that doesn't mean that I have an extra year to finish the film, because the day we deliver Avatar 2, we'll just start working on finishing up Avatar 3. So where we are right now, I'm done in New Zealand shooting. I'm down in New Zealand shooting, excuse me. We're shooting the remainder of the live action, and we've got about 10% left to go. We're at 100% complete on Avatar 2, and we're sort of at 95% of being complete on Avatar 3. So I'm actually happy about that. So that means once they finish up at whatever, post-production, all that, so they can kind of go right into, of course, like I said, finishing up whatever's left on 3 to go right into 4 and go into 5. So by the time they're doing the second one for 2024 for Avatar 3, they should be basically done 4, and then when 4 comes out, they should probably be wrapping up 5 in production, and we'll get that one. These babies have been literally spread out evenly like that, and it's going to be interesting because he'll probably be the first director who's ever put out such a massive sequel like this, so like literally back to back, and just on this high scale. But he's known for this, he's all about that. That's why he waited so long in regards to technology catching up for all the things he planned to do with this movie. So it's going to be very interesting. And at that time, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not all that great about Avatar. At the time, it was all certain things great about Avatar. That's why it was #1 for so long. A lot of people love the dog that movie, and it's always comical to me when they do that. I said, well, case in point, I think a lot of people saw something in it, like I said, ranked 1 for 10 years. A lot of people, well, it's not 10. It's like, well, it's not #1 now, but it was #1 for 10 years. Remember that. It's all great and good that now another movie has a chance to enjoy that top mantle, but like his comes down, that one can come down too. And if Avatar 2 is good, that one might take over that mantle yet again. So, and I think James Cameron stated he's coming for that mantle again. So we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hyped for it. It's real. So moving from that. Now, the next thing I want to discuss briefly is the movie Malcolm and Marie. And this is a movie I'm really, truly looking forward to seeing. I talked about this briefly a couple weeks back, a little here and there. This is a movie that's going to be starring John David Washington and Zendaya. Now, first of all, congratulations to Zendaya winning her Emmy last weekend. Totally deserving. I heard Euphoria is good. I have yet to watch it. Do not fault me. It's on my list of a lot of things that are lined up in the queue for me to watch, and she will get seen, and I know it'll be well worth it. Also for John David Washington, he's just knocking it out. I loved him in Black Klansman. I know he's doing a damn thing in Tenet. After seeing that trailer myself, I'm here for it. I just know that these two coming together, I feel like the chemistry is there. When you see the picture, which is probably already up, I just feel like I'm in for a treat. Now, let me read what they say in regards to the synopsis for this, actually. They says, Washington plays a filmmaker who is heading home from a movie premiere with his girlfriend, played by Zendaya. Once they get home, they start to examine their relationship only for things to go south there quickly. Now, I'm curious to know in regards to when they say going south very quickly, what is it that they start discussing in regards to their relationship? Is there certain things that happen, prior to him getting to a pinnacle in regards to his career? They had a premiere for his movie. Do certain things happen in regards to her career, so he could shine, or, she, not liking the changes in him, now that he hit a pinnacle, or some other things in regards to the relationship that we're going to touch bases on. All these things can come up into that, because for what I heard, they had to go through all the proper instructions in order to make this movie under what's going on with COVID, to get the go-ahead, from the higher-ups. And this script was written in within 6 days. Everybody had to quarantine for 14 days prior to even getting together on the set. And this movie was made between what dates? June 17th through July the 2nd or 3rd. So totally it was 16 days they did this actual movie. And that is really quickly in movie standards. I mean, there's probably some other movies that have probably made something close to around those amount of days, whichever, but it's not a lot that are out here that have done that. And that is something in itself. I do like that it's been picked up by Netflix. That Netflix just keeps on giving, and I'm here for it, so I'm glad I don't have to worry about that's being something I would consider seeing in theaters, watching the comfort of my home. because like I said, I like options. I don't mind seeing certain things in the theater, and I don't mind seeing things on streaming services. So kudos to Netflix for snatching that baby up. I'm just looking forward to seeing this. I really want to see a trailer for this. I'm hoping we'll find out when it's coming out. Something makes me think maybe this year, but something really makes me think maybe next year instead. With so much stuff, other things going on, they'll probably want it. But I'm like, if it's Netflix, it can come out. But they just actually, like I said, you can see the dates that it finished up July 2nd. So I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything. We'll just, wait and see when the trailer drops. And it's going to be something. I just feel like once I get into this conversation, some of the back and forth is going to be explosive within the trailer. So I'm here for it. So again, when I know more, you'll know more, guys. So let's move on. Now, this one is high on my radar. I'm here for it. And this has to do with Coming to America. And this, of course, is the second installment to the original one that came out in 1988, which is beyond one of my favorite movies of all time. I love me some Eddie Murphy. Ever since Saturday Night Live, ever since his comedy specials, I love me some Eddie Murphy. He's done that plethora of work. It's just, he's just funny. I just love me some Eddie. He's just hilarious. And I just love that we're finally getting a little bit more information about the movie, whichever we still have, still haven't gotten the trailer. I heard we're supposed to be getting a teaser trailer very soon. And we're hearing that the rating for the movie, embrace yourself, is looking like it's considered a PG movie. Now, I will say this. When I heard that's the rating for it, I was really surprised by that because we already know the original one was a rated R film. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like Eddie has never done any comedy where everything is so, considered vulgar and statement tone and visuals that it has to be R rating. This movie might want to be a little bit more lighthearted in that instance, and it can still be funny. There's going to be plenty of individuals in here who are going to bring the funny. Leslie Jones is in here. I love me some her. I'm so happy. I get to see Arsenio Hall again. Happy about that. And some other names, which I'm not even placing out. But I just know I'm going to get my funny. And I was kind of surprised by that rate. Just thinking about it, I'm just like, they're going to have to do a testing on this and just to see how people feel. And some people are going to put it out there. And I really don't pay mind really to critics. I don't really listen to them like that. But in this one, I might consider it just to see if they say don't be swayed by the rating. Just enjoy for what it is. Let me just see the trailer. I'm like that. I don't care about that. I like to look at the trailer, get an idea, see the vibe of the people and characters within that, and that kind of let me know, engage me if this is gonna be something I can foresee watching, be at home, in the theaters, whichever. I've said it multiple times. So besides that, the date for this. And I think I didn't bring this up before, but I did say some other dates that fall for this, December 18th. So you see how that is? We already have another movie that's coming on December 18th, and that is Dune. So here I am having to worry about doing double feature. So at least it comes out the week before Christmas, because I'm already, debating, because I don't even go out on Christmas Day. It's so much stuff I like to watch, plus I'm all about my holiday films. A Christmas Story is on literally playback all day long, 24 hours. They show it 24 hours. I literally have that in the backdrop when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, because it's all about the holiday films. It's not one thing that makes me want to go out on Christmas Day to do anything. Not even shopping. I'm not even here for all of that. So I'm going to have to really think about that in itself. But the December 18th one, we'll just see how things, like I stated, play out with COVID before me to decide if I'm going to venture out. And if I do, I've also noted it has to be early in the day. I don't want a lot of people around me. I'm not even going to lie. If I decide December is going to be the month, I'm finally going to, what do you say, risk it and then go out and then see the actual movie. So it's just, whew, I tell you, this whole situation is just, it's not high a bar of things that I should truly be caring about, but I do miss being in the theater, watching films and all that, and that's the part I do always enjoy as my little time away from, doing my everyday. So I'll have to get back to you all and decide if I'm going to do this, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Coming to America. And I'm just going to note, this cast in the back of the originals from the original movie, all of them will be in it. I don't think we'll probably see James Earl Jones. I think we're going to hear him. I don't know if they said they're going to show him or whatever. No, I think when it's like mid-80s or whatever, he might have a small part. We might get a glimpse of him, whatever and all. But like I stated, everybody else that's on this particular photo right here are supposed to be in the movie, and I'm here for it. So yes, just had to put that out there. It just gives me all tingles. I just get so excited because I just really am looking forward to seeing this movie. This was a long time coming, and I was hearing this back, I want to say probably late 2017, early 2018, when I started hearing whispers that this was considered in works, and here we are. But I'm glad that they were able to finish up the stuff in regards to production with this movie prior to COVID, taking shape out here. So we already know, definitely probably everything's basically done. So we just need to know when that trailer's going to drop so I can get my funny on. And I already know I'm all about, laughing as of late, as you see in our current situation. So I'm totally down for that. So with that said, moving on. Now this one, I'm getting more and more hype when I get more information. And this information that came out for this one has me beyond hype. And this has to do with Black Adam. Now, all I can say is that I was already hyped when I heard Dwayne Johnson was attached. I know Noah Centineo is going to be playing Adam Smasher, so I'm excited about that because I talked about that a couple of weeks back. But we have another person who's coming on board and is playing the character Hawkman. At first it wasn't confirmed, but on his social media he put it out there, and that is Aldous Hodge who will be playing Hawkman. They're setting it up, to introduce us to Justice Society of America. So I'm here for that. I'm already getting my information on with that, so I'm learning as I go. I already told you all I don't do comics. I like that to read. I really need to get on that. Hopefully over time I have time to do that. But I just love how DCEU is kind of getting this stuff in order with certain things in regards to some more superheroes, and I'm here for it. Anti-hero, whatever. But this just, I love Aldous Hodge. I am a fan. He did, the first time I was introduced with him was when he did Supernatural, and it was only a couple episodes long, but very effective. If you see the show, you understand when I say that. Also, when he did the show Leverage, I watched that show faithfully. I love that show. It was so good. And then, of course, he did a recent show that got canceled, I think after one season, whatever, called Underground. So he's been in other things. He's done many other actual TV shows over the years, and of course a couple of movies here and there and all that. I also know he was in What Men Want, with Taraji P. Henson, hilarious. So yes, I'm excited for him to be a part of this, because when I say this up, and I've already probably put the picture of them both together, Dwayne Johnson did note on his social media that when he reached out to Aldous, that he didn't think it was him when he was calling out to him. And he was just like, somebody's playing on my phone. I'm not going to say some of those things he said because some profanity was in there. But needless to say, when he finally realized that it was Dwayne, he was so appreciative. I think he put the phone down, kind of, you can hear him in the backdrop, and I think Dwayne had a little chuckle, knowing he really was hyped, whatever, and all that, because he'd read for the role. So I'm just excited because I know some other characters within the JSA are being considered, whichever, besides the two that we now have, Thomas Smasher, Hawkman, and some other ones. So hopefully, we'll hear more down the road. I don't know if they're going to be introduced in this particular film, whatever, but maybe other films as time goes on, because at least we're getting the introduction of Black Adam first and foremost before we get the next, I think we're going to get that, and then we're going to definitely go Shazam 2, and then I think after, that, whatever, eventually the togetherness of them both, coming ahead, which I'm looking forward to. So yes, this is some good, exciting news. I'm happy for him. He was also in another movie I just didn't say, which was the last movie I saw before COVID hit, was The Invisible Man. I enjoyed him in that with Elizabeth Moss. He did an excellent job in that. So yes, kudos to him. I'll keep my tabs on whoever else is cast for that. I'm curious what's happening with Noah Centineo with the He-Man movie, Master of the Universe. I don't understand what's going on there. Keep my eyes on that one as well, because I know he's supposed to be in that one. I don't know if it's been pushed, put on hold, excuse me, so to speak. Probably because all I've been hearing about is him doing this one. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more information about that. But the date for Black Adam is December 22nd, 2021. So that's good. I wonder, nope, it has no competition with that movie, because I think the movie for Aquaman 2 is supposed to come out, I think it's December 2022. So I think we have a little ways away. So, because too many of those movies get together because that's DC, so we don't want him to be anywhere near him. We want them both to have their moment to shine. So moving from that, now this is another one that I'm excited about. And this has to do with Ant-Man 3, but this also has to do with a particular character who's been added to the movie. And it's going to be, don't know the actual character he's playing, but this has to do with Jonathan Majors playing, a villain of sorts in Ant-Man 3. Now, right now, there's whispers about him possibly playing another character. I'll get in a second. I'm just excited for Jonathan Majors all around, because he recently was in the movie earlier this year, came out from Netflix, called The Five Bloods, of course directed by Spike Lee, and of course he's on an epic TV show which I have to get a shout out to, and that is Lovecraft Country, excuse me. That that whole entire series is just on a whole nother level. If you have not been watching it, you really need to rectify that quickly. He plays Atticus Freeman. He does a phenomenal job in that show, and I'm just here for him. Just, just the brother's working, and I see they've taken notice and they're liking what they're seeing, so I'm here for it. I'm excited for him. I just can't say it enough about it. I really could go on and all that, whatever, because the brother's doing a damn thing. So needless to say, knowing he's going to be in Ant-Man 3, I'm very happy. I'm hearing word that he can be considered as being one of the villains in the upcoming film. One of them being, they're considering that he could be is Khan the Conqueror. Now, they're kind of tight-lipped. We don't know for sure if he's going to be Khan the Conqueror, but that's what they're putting out. I know Jonathan Majors is being very tight-lipped about what his character is. He probably, like I said, does know whatever. He's definitely not going to speak on it, mouth shut. Don't mess with your bread. So I'm just here to see. Now, in regards to that particular character, I don't know a lot about Khan the Conqueror. I will get well versed in his character. If somebody does want to post anything in the comments to kind of give me a little bit of background, I'm all here for that. I love to learn. So that's going to be very interesting. I look forward to seeing Evangeline Lilly. I hope she'll be back. I'm hoping Michael Douglas will be back. I'm hoping Michelle Pfeiffer will be back. So there's a lot of the cast coming. Also, of course, if you all remember seeing Endgame, you saw that when Paul Rudd's character, was trying to locate his family, whatever, and all that, seeing what was going on. His daughter's now a teen. I want to see some of the dynamics of him, dealing with his daughter now that she's older, dealing with her teen angst or whichever. That will be interesting to see too, and just kind of move his character along a little bit more in development, which would be nice. And also his relationship with the character played by Evangeline Lilly as well. So that'll be interesting. Also, so yeah, I'm excited for it. I love the first two movies in the franchise for Marvel for Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is hilarious. I just think I've been a fan of him, of course, when he did Clueless. That's what started it. But then when he was on Friends, I love that he was Phoebe's boyfriend and of course her husband. Oh my God, I love the scenes. Just yes, I love when there's an episode he did with her where she changed her name or whatever, and she. It's just, that was one of my favorite episodes with Phoebe with her, whatever, and I just like how he came back and and stumped her when he was thinking about changing his name, whatever. It's just hilarious. Also, of course, him being in a 4-year-old virgin, certain parts in there, just like the shoot of him shooting his little tush. Oh my God! And the brother can dance. I know people like to get on him. He be doing this little funny dance. I said the brother can really dance. He's just doing extra. He got to give y'all extra, and I'm just here for it. He's just awesome. He never ages either. I'm like, my God. So, yes, looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to more information on the movie. And once we have an actual just verification that he actually is playing Khan the Conqueror, of course, I'll come back and we're just going to get all into that. By then, I'll know a little bit more about that, and I'll be happy to discuss that and share that with you all. So, moving on from that. Now, we get into reboot territory. Things that you already know how I feel about, but here we are. It is what it is. As I stated, I always have to do the thin line with you all because I'm going to come off as a hypocrite, and then I want you all coming for me in the comment section. It is what it is. This one has to do with The Thing. Now, we already know the original movie came out in 1951. I know my stuff because I originally saw it years ago, but the one I will always love is the one starring Kurt Russell. A lot of people, it was given like bad, reviews back in the day, and sometimes I wonder myself, like, who are these people? That's why I don't always listen to critics. I'm like, I'm not here for that. Let them do their work, whatever. Some people want to listen to them, knock yourself out. Me, I ain't here for it. I enjoyed that one. That thing is considered a cult classic to this day. Now, they originally was considered like a prequel for it, which was done in 2011. I actually enjoyed that one as well. And it kind of tied in the way they had everything set up towards the end, so you can kind of see how things, pertain to the second one that came out, which was the one with Kurt from 1982. But for me, I'm like, okay, do we really need this one? We have the cult classic, but every so often after 25, 30 years of a certain movie, they just feel like, okay, people might have what does it want to say? Short attention span to remember it once, but us people who are over 30 something plus and up, whatever, in the 40 plus, no, my mind's still fresh. I'm still here for the 82 one, but okay, I'm gonna play along. I do know that John Carpenter will be attached to this particular one. We just don't know what capacity yet. That's going to be very interesting. I know this is going to be done through Blumhouse Productions. So I'm curious to see, of course, who's going to be the director. Is it not going to be John Carpenter? Who will it be? I'm also interested in seeing who's going to be cast. That's definitely important. That plays a part. And just how the overall special effects will be done on the actual movie. I really want to know exactly how the special effects will play out, whatever. The one from 1951, of course, is not. But the one in 82 is done very, very well with the special effects. Everything was done down to the creature was really good. So besides that, I need to figure out if John Carpenter will also be doing in regards to composing the music. We already know he's doing the music for Halloween Kills. I'm excited about that, so he might have a part in that as well. You never know. But I'll stay excited for the prospect of what they're going to do with Carpenter being attached. That's probably the only part that's making me not be a complete jerk about the whole instance of them doing the actual movie. But again, why? You know, just gotta go back to why. So I ain't got nothing. So I'm just gonna move on from that one. So this is one that I wasn't really expecting. Didn't hear anything about this one, but I'm actually curious to see where this is going to go. This has to do with The Nutty Professor. They're going to do a reboot. Now, I remember when they did the one with Jerry Lewis back in the day, was in 1963, I think it is. And then, of course, you know, the one from 1996 with Eddie Murphy. I love both of those. They're classic. And Eddie literally knocked it out of the park because besides him doing the main character, he played the character of his family in the movie, The Clumps, which eventually gave us a sequel to that one, which was Nutty Professor 2, you know, what is it? The Clumps, or, you know, Meet the Clumps. If I'm not getting the full actual title wrong, my apologies. But I enjoyed that one. Of course, the first one starred him, of course, Jada Pinkett Smith, and then the second one starred him and Janet Jackson, which I enjoyed. So I'm trying to think. Back in the day, I'd heard they were considering doing a third installment, which I thought we were going to get, but nothing, you know, came of it. But here we are now hearing that they're talking about this. Now, I do know the person who's a part of this, who's attached to this producer, James Vanderbilt. Now, he's actually also producing on Scream 5. So I'm not sure. We don't have a director who's attached to this. We don't have a script. We don't have anything as of yet right now. He's just a producer on it. So they're truly at the beginning stages of this. I will say this. Both Jerry Lewis and Eddie can be physical comedians at times. It's going to be very interesting who they're going to find to play that, because besides that, they got to bring the funny. Of course, you have a little bit of drama here with them, but definitely the funny aspect of it. And they have to look the part, like, you know, play the dorky, whatever, and all that, till they supposedly, you know, blossom, you know, with whatever they do, hence this experiment, to become not what they really want to be, but be something else. And I'm looking forward to seeing who they feel can, you know, fit all those boxes, and the overall cast as well. You know, it's going to be whoever is at the lead helm. They got to be somebody who definitely can be the funny, and they have to be somebody where some people really want to watch this film. So no pressure, but I'm just not seeing anybody that pops in my mind. I've seen many a damn movie, and I can't think of anybody as of right now who I can feel that will really make me be excited to see a new Nutty Professor. I'm just not. So I will not judge it too much. Once we see, like I stated, who's directing, who's cast, then I'll kind of go from there, because that'll give me a little bit more of an idea and vibe, and I can kind of get more of a visual of what I can foresee with this person. And then to see whoever is playing it, what kind of body of work they've had previously, because that tells a tale as well. So, again, when I know more about this one, you all will know more. Now, this one, not a reboot, it's considered a prequel, and this has to do with The Omen. Now, if you all remember that film, that came out a long time ago with, was it Gregory Peck? This was what? I was only a year old at the time, 76. And I didn't see this one until late, like mid to late 80s, when I finally saw the original film, whatever, because I wasn't watching too much horror and my mom wasn't having it. You know, I snuck a lot. That movie had Robert and I think Catherine Thorne, whichever, and of course he's considered like an ambassador or whatever. Now he's working for Britain or whatever. His wife, of course, lost her baby, so they were kind of dealing with that conflict outside of his day-to-day work. And he, of course, you know, he's a priest who says a woman has lost her life due to childbirth, whatever. There's a baby, you know, if you know, consider, you know, adopting his child. And of course, not speaking with the wife with him and all, but deciding to make that decision on his own, he, of course, does adopt the baby and, of course, brings the baby home. And, of course, certain events start to happen. And unbeknownst to him, even though he's getting guidance from the priest about the possibility of what could be happening, courtesy of his child, all these things start to ensue, whichever and all that, as you all know. The movie was done really well. It had, of course, like I said, Gregory Peck and also Lee Remick in it as well. And it was creepy. I remember seeing years ago, the boy was creepy. It's just like, oh my God, I couldn't be a friend with him. It's just like, just this visual, his facial expression sometimes was just, there was nothing there. So it was just like he just wasn't, you know, and all the incidents that happened. Of course, you had a couple sequels, and then they did another Omen film, came out in 2006 with Julia Stiles. And I was like, nah, I didn't really particularly care for the little boy in that one, but the first one, the original one, I actually enjoyed that. It was just something about the overall vibe of that boy, and it's with the other one, more up to date, recent, 30 years later, just really didn't hold well for me. So I'm interested in this one because they're trying to make this, like I said, a prequel, and they're noting that in regards to this one, and let me state, it says in regards to the first Omen, which was done, the script was actually put together by the Hayes brothers, and it kind of gives you a little idea of certain situations happening prior to them adopting, the devastation of them deciding to adopt this child. Now they state here, it says the first Omen places Robert, like I said, Robert and Catherine Thorne at the center of the story, showing audiences how the couple came together before they made the fatal decision to adopt Damien. So this is going to be very interesting. Basically, like I said, setting up the story for what we get for Omen. So I do like how some movies actually do that. Some movies might not do prequel, but they might end up trying to switch it up and change up the way the direction of the movie or flow goes. Case in point, in Halloween. Now with this one, that's what they want to do. I know with what is it? The Thing. They did the prequel, consider the prequel. A lot of people were like, okay, this is considered a prequel if you saw the way the overall ending was and how they shaped it up. Then you can see the way they can do it. So all those particular movies will fall in line the way it should really fall. And I know some movies do want to do prequels, so with this one, that's probably a good thing. I probably have a problem with it really, as opposed to making another new The Omen, then that's fine. I'm really looking forward to them going back and figuring out how this came to be in regards to the mother who dies giving birth to Damien. That's where I want to know. Give us a little bit of back on that, and hopefully not just the fact of Robert and Catherine Thorne. I want to know about the person who lost their life due to childbirth in regards to, giving life to Damien. That's the one I want to know about as well. So I really am going to be interested in that. Don't have any other information on it right now, of course. No directors attached, no cast or whatever. So this is just, like I said, beginning stages. You got a little bit of a script. Hopefully that will be the one that's actually used. I'll be here for it. The Hayes brothers have done many of work in the past, whatever they actually like. So I'm keeping an open mind on this one for sure. And definitely when I get ready to do the prequel or whatever, I really want to see a teaser for that. Because that's one of those ones where I would probably actually watch that and then come on and I'll probably watch the Omen all and watch them all into order before I watch that last one, which was the remake, and I don't really care to see. So, but I'm excited. I'm hyped about this one. So again, I will definitely keep my tabs on this one. Now we're getting into some films in the works. There's a couple things I'm actually excited I'm going to discuss on this one, and this first one has to do with two people coming together that I figured one day I would probably see, but hey, sooner than later. This has to do with a movie that's going to be starring Tiffany Haddish and Nicolas Cage, and it's titled The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, excuse me. And this one, I'm excited because they're two actors I do enjoy. I'm loving the work that Tiffany's putting out. I mean, of course, I enjoyed her in Girls Trip. She did a series on Netflix, Self-Made. She also was in The Kitchen. I enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to her doing another movie, Girls Trip 2. I know we're going to be getting that. I'm just here for it. And, of course, Like a Boss. Now, for Nicolas Cage, I can't ever say enough about him. I love a lot of his work. He has a large amount of work that over the years I've loved for over 30 years. Almost 40, almost. Of course, the first movie I saw was Peggy Sue Got Married, but when he did the movie Raising Arizona, I was here for it. And ever since then, I've been following his work. The most recent movie I did see him in, which came out, I want to say last year that I saw it, was Mandy. And I really enjoyed that movie. That trailer was, it was a mine, you know what, and by God, it was well worth it. He was out. The revenge was real. It was good. It was good. Now, for this particular one, I'm going to read a little bit of the synopsis on this one. It says, Haddish, who plays a character named Vivian, she's an eccentric rogue agent who convinces Cage to go undercover to bring down a crime lord in the metadrama film. Now, for Cage's character, is that he has, of course, hit rock bottom, fervently trying to reconnect with his teenage daughter and overcome horrendous debt. Cage will have an internal conversations with his 90s movie star version of himself. It says Cage agrees to accept a $1 million offer to attend a birthday of a superfan who is actually really a criminal kingpin, played by Pedro Pascal. Chaos ensues and the movie star must live up to his own legend. I like that because I feel like we're going to get the drama comedy and we're going to get a lot of physical comedy because I can foresee Tiffany's good for that, and definitely Nicolas Cage. I'm looking forward to seeing them work together because I want to see the chemistry, on film. I look forward to that trailer. I don't know if this is something they're working on right now. I know Cage stays busy just like her, so I don't know what he's actually working on this moment, but there's a possibility this could be something that's coming up really soon. They do say it's a fall production, so she might be wrapping up some stuff or just preparing to start work on this actual movie. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm wondering if this will be something that will be in the theaters next year, or if this will be coming to maybe Netflix or Amazon, something like that. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I do plan to watch this. I'm a fan of both, and I really want to see this film. And just the fact that he's going to have to live up to the legend of his character for playing acting is going to be really interesting. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I'm like excited to see Pedro Pascal's in this as well, because of course he's already going to be in Wonder Woman 84, and also he's part of The Mandalorian. So, and I know season 2 is getting ready to pop off. So yes, I'm here for him as well. So this one, definitely going to keep an eye out on this one as well. Now, this is another person that I'm a fan of his work. This has to do with a movie that's going to be starring Ryan Gosling, directed by David Lynch. Now, I'm a fan of both. Ryan has much work that I do love. And then also David Lynch. I mean, they're saying this is considered an untitled stunt movie project. Now, I know in the past, there's been a couple movies. Well, let me just start with the director. David Lynch, he, besides being a director, has done stunt work. He is a stunt man. He's been in movies like, what is it, Troy, Jumper, what's another one, Van Helsing, oh gosh, and what's anything else, and 300. I'm just trying to think of some of the movies that he's been attached to. Now, he was a co-director, of course, on John Wick. He's also directed Deadpool, and he also did Atomic Blonde, which is one of my faves. So he's one that I do love some of the work he does put out in regards to the directing, and definitely the fact that he's done stunt work. So this is very fitting. Now, for Ryan Gosling, he, of course, you know, definitely played 2 characters where he was in stunt movies, where one was the movie Drive, and then also he did, what is it, The Place Beyond the Pines, I think. I want to say the name correctly. Yeah. So I'm excited to see them come together and do a film. So that's going to be really interesting. They're not giving us really any synopsis with this. We're in the beginning stages of this actual movie. I'm looking forward to learn a little bit more. I really wish that we actually had a little bit more information than that, but I'm actually excited at what I can see David's going to put out with, of course, the last little bit of work he has put out. So definitely the action aspect of it, I'm here for it. Now, I know with Ryan, he has a lot on his plate because he's actually going to be in another movie, which he's going to be starring with Chris Evans, and it's The Gray Man. That's going to be under Netflix's helm. And then he's also going to be in the movie, which will be directed by Leigh Whannell, which is Wolfman. You already know how I feel about the Wolf movie, so I'm here for that. So, yeah, he's busy. And I know that David Lynch is working on a movie with Brad Pitt. They've already worked together, like I said, in the movies back in the day, where he's done work for which with Brad Pitt in the past. So they already have that connection, so I already know that's going to be something to pop off as well. So yeah, both brothers are busy. I'll be keeping my tabs on this particular one to see if it's going to be theater, if it's going to be maybe a Netflix film as well. I'm excited. I'm here for it. So yes. Now, this is the last one, and I'm going to tell you, this one is very interesting to me because I'd heard about this, and I wonder if there's a lot of truth to it, but truly it is. And this is to do with Tom Cruise and him going to space. If it could be anybody who's in Hollywood who would make this work and make this happen, it is Tom Cruise. The brother knows no bounds. He's all about being a perfectionist. He's all about, you know, being good in his craft. And this is, I'm assuming, he's hitting that bar. I don't know what else you can do once you do this movie from outer space. I'm like, where else can he go? But he probably surprised us. Now, let me get through the synopsis with this one. This is an Untitled project. Now, it's stating that there was something put on social media through a Space Shuttle Almanac, and it says they have greenlit Cruise's project and all parties involved. Now, the commander, Michael Lopez Alegria, he actually will be the pilot for the Adam Space Station on tourist mission for October 2021. So I'm going to post up a little bit of what they put in regards to their social media through their Twitter. Now it says when he does it, on the helm of that, when they go off, they're going to be, when XCM sets off for outer space, Tom Cruise will be, and also the director, Doug Liman. Now, I'm a fan of Doug Liman because he's done a couple of films that I love, which was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Edge of Tomorrow, and Jumper. I love me some of them films, so I can already foresee right there, not to say, because he can mix it up with the action and the drama as well, it's going to be something probably really good and very intense in regards to how this film is going to flow. Now, I'm just like, I'm really looking forward to knowing a little bit more about this project. Like I said, it's untitled. We don't know anymore. Plus, in regards to them going on this mission, there's an extra seat. They said that's empty right now. They don't know. Now, I know he's working with him and also Elon Musk. So I feel like that third and final seat might go to Musk. So that's a possibility. And I feel like it probably will. Especially if he's involved in this, stuff in regards to NASA. And the brother does have bank. That's a possibility. So I'm really going to keep tabs on this. I want to see who else is involved. Is it going to be more so him in this project, maybe another actor within, or is this going to be all him up there doing whatever scenes they're going to do in space? And I'm just like, damn, Tom. I ain't even mad at that. That's really interesting. I am really just amazed by that. But some people are like, yeah, he if he can make it happen, he gonna make it happen, and he does. I know he, of course, is back to doing work on Mission Impossible 7 and 8. I'm here for that. You already know that cast. Him, his stunts. Don't need no stunt double because he likes to do his own stunts. The brother lives on the edge. Some people like he needs to bring it down because he's in his mid-50s, but he doesn't seem like he wants to stop. And as long as I pray that he's going to be okay, I'm here for it. So, I love Mission Impossible Fallout. I was here for it. I loved everything about that film from beginning to end. It was not anything wrong. I think it was freaking perfection. So, yeah, again, been a fan of Tom Cruise. I'm switching the words for over 35 years. So I'm definitely here for his body of work and whatever he puts out. So I will be keeping tabs on this one when we get a little bit more on that. He has a little ways anyway. I know he'll be, of course, finish up Mission Impossible. Of course, by that end next year, we'll probably be seeing him get ready to get promotion to, Top Gun Maverick. And yeah, that'll be this coming up in October of next year. So we'll hear a little bit more about that. It's probably when it gets closer to that time, we'll hear a little bit more information about that. Hopefully we'll have a title about the actual film, who else is involved besides Tom and Doug and that. So yeah, I'm here for it. So with that said, you guys, I went so far over, almost an hour. So yeah, so I want to kind of get those out there. Comment below. You all know how I feel. I want to know how you feel about the movies, how you feel about what's going on with these theaters, what they're trying to do to entice us to come back. And as I always say, please stop through. I always love to hear from you guys. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next movie news. You guys take care.